The Ravens defeat the Dolphins to secure the top seed in the AFC. Dan, should we just pencil this team into the Super Bowl right now?
Unless they play a bad game, but you could pen Lamar in for MVP, but you got to catch this team in a bad performance. That's the only way that teams have beaten them this year, Indy and Pittsburgh and Cleveland. This offense is dynamic. They got plenty of people. This offensive line is probably the most underspoken about unit in all of the NFL. The protection and the play action pass for this offense is absolutely spectacular. This defense is tremendous. It's the deepest roster in football, it seems that way right now, them in San Francisco for sure. And this football team is top to bottom the best in the NFL.
Yeah, I look at it this way, RC. I mean, you've got the league MVP for sure.
Yep.
Certainly.
It's a lock.
All right, with Lamar Jackson.
By the way, Rex, that's his. If he wins it, it'll be his second, and I think he's 26.
Right.
No one has won two by the age of 26.
Right.
So can we stop questioning him then as a player? Like at some point, can we stop?
Oh, yeah.
Someo's gonna.
Are we getting our money's worth? Remember that was too early. What? I mean, we always get our money's worth with Lamar Jackson, but here's the scary thing: if you're trying to beat this team in the playoffs. That's not their best unit. Their best unit is their defense.
Yeah.
Their defense is going to do something, all right, that hasn't been done since the merger 1970. That's to lead the league in sacks, takeaways, and points allowed. All right, and I know my team never did because I got beat by one freaking sack. We also led it in total defense in 06. That's another story. But anyway, that's how good this defense is. And the only way that team got beat in the playoffs was we turned it over 5 times. Right. That's the only way this team's going to get beat.
What I loved yesterday, though, was watching the Miami Dolphins and seeing Mike Macdonald defensively figure them out. He was a dude, he played single high. He played too high. Then he brought the blitz. He also had some simulated pressure. He said he wasn't going to let the Miami Dolphins dictate to him like we've seen them do the entire season. Dan, when you broke down the film, what was most impressive to you?
The preparation. That's kind of what I started to smile when you started talking about Mike Macdonald, because you can see how prepared they were versus and for the certain looks from Miami, the depth of the defenders. So watch this group. So that's the second level of defense. Line up at the 45. When Tua goes to throw the ball, they're basically at the 49, the 50, the other 48. 40. That's how they can drop with eyes on and then bat the ball down. Again, these second-level defenders and the depth that they get and the way that they communicate, they start at basically midfield here. Look how deep these guys get. Now, why does that matter? Because then Tua's got to throw up over those guys, and when that happens, instead of taking a check down, that ball sails and it gets to that third level, which is that deepest secondary. And then I love the hesitation that they force Tua. Watch Tua. That hesitation right there. Roquan Smith is like, gotcha. I'm no longer listening to anything but where you're going to go with the football. And just watching, we know that Tua and that Miami Dolphins offense loves to throw those second window throws, those deep crossers, right? That watching the focus of how deep they wanted to get was so impressive. When they play zone defense, they force quarterbacks to play at a passer rating of 69, 69%. Bryce Young has the worst passer rating in the NFL. So basically, when Baltimore plays zone defense, they take your quarterback and make him the worst quarterback in the NFL.
What's Bryce Young's?
77.
77. So think about that. When you're playing against the Baltimore Ravens, you are the worst quarterback in the league.
When they play zone defense.
No matter who you are.
Yep.
And I think that's what's been great about what they've been able to do, because we also know they're a team that can go man as well. Rex, the Bills beat the Patriots this week, right? But they have to go to Miami and win that game to get in, or they're not in at all. Do you trust this team to get that win?
I mean, not all the way, RC. So I hate to give it a little gray area, but what we've seen the last 2 weeks, Adam, I trust Josh Allen. He's like my favorite player in the National Football League. I trust him, but do you really trust the rest of them? And to me, look. What defense, what offense shows up outside of Josh Allen?
Yeah.
Does James Cook show up? If he does, yes, okay, that defense should make it more difficult on Tua. We saw it the last time they played. So yes, I think they can get it done, but I'm not overly confident.
So we were in the place where we were riding a Buffalo Bills high after
Yeah.
Joe Brady took over as the offensive coordinator.
Sure.
And think about where we were after they beat the Dallas Cowboys, even though Josh Allen only threw for 7 completions. We thought to ourselves, okay, this is the team. This team can make noise. This team is the one you don't want to play if they sneak into the playoffs. After the last 2 weeks, Dan, you still feel that way?
I do, just because I know what they're capable of. This team notoriously plays up or plays down. Now, let me say this, RC. One, going to yesterday's game against New England. 2 things. One, Josh did not throw the ball well. He had some good throws over the middle of the field to like Khalil Shakir and some of their play action, to Dalton Kincaid, but he didn't throw the ball well. They also couldn't protect him. They had some just close misses. Again, some nice balls down the field. I think Kincaid just missed step on a big post. They couldn't protect him well. And he had some misses. This is an interception. He's taking a shot downfield.
Yeah.
It's first down, so I think that's a little bit of an overly aggressive throw. That's not third down sometimes. Third down shots, I don't mind. But so that's to yesterday.
It felt like he had got out of some of these things for 3 weeks or so. It felt like Josh had sort of transcended these mistakes.
Agreed.
And became a dude that could be patient, make the plays
Yeah.
when he needed to. What do you think has been sort of the regression?
So against Los Angeles, their offense just couldn't get into rhythm. And then obviously the Dallas game was the one-off. Yesterday, they credit New England defensively. They're a very good unit. Again, I thought Josh had some misses, uncharacteristic misses.
Yeah.
I want to go to this weekend, though. I think the way that they beat Miami is Dalton Kincaid has to have a massive game. And then, listen, Steph Diggs has got to have a big game in the slot. He just has. He hasn't in like 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
They've had some near misses in the slot. I think if Dalton Kincaid and Stephon Diggs have 170 yards of offense, Buffalo wins that game. I don't think they can without it.
If I'm the Miami Dolphins,
Please.
I'm not sitting Jalen Ramsey at the right corner for the entire game.
You're moving him?
I'm moving him. He's a guy that's played inside. He's a guy that we've seen move all around the field. He's traveled before. He's been the permanent star in Los Angeles. If you just keep him in a way where he can get 1 target per game, you're not getting your money's worth. A scheme, right? And a scheme and a system can keep you from scoring points. Players score points themselves defensively. The Ed Reeds, the Ray Lewises, those guys, you have to put them in position to make plays.
Oh, please, RC, you hit it on the head. Because right now, look, Diggs will have 170 yards himself if you don't put
He did the
Jalen
first time
Ramsey
on Cato Kohu.
I
Buffalo wins.
guarantee you. And so to me, absolutely, I got one of maybe the best corner on the planet.
Yeah.
Let him travel with him, and now you got a chance to compete. The thing that's bad about this, Vic Fangio's system is great when you have 11 good players.
Losing guys.
Now you lost your 2 pass rusher, and if Howard doesn't play, you guys got a major problem. But one thing I wouldn't do is leave my best player sitting over there where everybody knows he's at.
Yep.
No way in hell.
Yeah. The Chiefs found a way to beat the Cincinnati Bengals, but they only score 1 offensive touchdown.
Sure.
Dan, do you have enough belief in Patrick Mahomes and this offense that they can go on the road for the first time in Patrick Mahomes' tenure and get a win?
If they play the way that they did yesterday, I do. Yesterday was the first time in what feels like a long time that they did not finally beat themselves. Rashee Rice has become the focal point of this offense. And the way that they ran the football with Pacheco, I was very encouraged. They didn't have some of those self-inflicted wounds that have plagued this football team offensively for the past 2 months. Run the ball well, give the ball to Rashee Rice. If they were a little bit better on third down, this game would have been an absolute blowout. They scored on 7 drives yesterday.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of times field goals, that's the most all season. I said last week, they're close. This is the first game in a while that they kind of put it all together.
I think we pump our brakes on them just because they're against the 31st ranked defense in the league. So that might have contributed to the success of Rice and Pacheco.
Well, listen, when you look at the Kansas City Chiefs, it was a way to get a win, but
Các bạn dàn keo vào đây nha. Rồi, thì mình sẽ có được một cái phần thân của cái đèn như thế này nhé các bạn. Sau khi mà đã có cái phần thân của cái chiếc đèn như thế này rồi, bây giờ thì mình sẽ đi cắt cái phần quai cho nó nhé. Các bạn sẽ cắt cái phần màu xanh này. Đây, các bạn cắt như thế này. Và sau đó các bạn sẽ vòng cái phần này vào đây. và dán nó vào bên trên cái miệng của cái đèn như thế này nhá. Các bạn dán keo vào đây, dán quay vào đây, và cái bên này thì các bạn dán vòng sang phía bên này nhé. Bạn sẽ dán vào đây cho mình này. Rồi, như vậy là mình sẽ có một cái chiếc đèn có màu hồng và màu cam bên này như các bạn. Bây giờ thì bước tiếp theo là mình sẽ đi trang trí, đúng không? So với cái phần trang trí thì mình sẽ sử dụng những cái phần giấy xốp bỏ đi như này để mình sẽ cắt thành cái hình tròn nha các bạn. Mỗi cái màu này thì các bạn sẽ cắt thành 2 hình tròn giúp mình nha. Đây sẽ là cái phần màu vàng này. Đây, mình sẽ cắt thành 2 hình tròn màu vàng. Tiếp theo thì mình sẽ có 2 hình tròn màu xanh dương nhé. Mình sẽ cắt 2 hình tròn màu xanh dương như này. Rồi, tiếp tục là 2 hình tròn màu hồng nhé. 2 hình tròn màu hồng này. Rồi, sau đó thì mình sẽ có 2 hình tròn màu xanh lá cây. Như vậy là mình có hai màu xanh lá cây nhé các bạn. Một màu xanh lá cây đậm và một màu xanh lá cây màu nó sẽ tươi sáng hơn như thế này. Tiếp tục này, 2 hình tròn cuối cùng màu xanh lá cây đậm nhé. Các bạn cắt nó ra như này cho mình. Mình sẽ sử dụng cái phần màu óng ánh như này nhé các bạn, xốp óng ánh như này để nhìn cái phần đèn của mình nhìn nó sẽ nổi bật hơn, thay vì cái việc là mình chỉ sử dụng cái giấy bình thường nhé. Bây giờ thì mình sẽ dán keo vào đây và mình sẽ dán những cái phần hình tròn này, mình dán lên bên trên của cái phần chiếc đèn này. Thì các bạn sẽ dán mỗi cái là có 2 màu đúng không? Thì các bạn sẽ dán mỗi cái thì mỗi màu đúng không? Thì mình sẽ có ở cái phần trên này. Bây giờ mình sẽ tiếp tục dán cái phần màu vàng này. Đây, các bạn sẽ cách cái khoảng cách của nó ra để các bạn dán nhé. Tiếp theo là mình sẽ có màu xanh dương này. Đây, mình còn 2 màu nữa, các bạn dán làm sao để nó đủ cái vòng của cái chiếc đèn này. Tiếp theo là mình sẽ có màu xanh lá cây nhạt đi. Như vậy là mình có 4 màu thôi à? Mình có 5 màu nha các bạn. Rồi. Và cuối cùng là mình sẽ kết thúc bằng màu hồng ở bên trên nhé. Mình sẽ kết thúc bằng màu hồng như này. Đây thì các bạn sẽ thấy ở bên trên mình sẽ dán cái phần trang trí như này nhé. Và cái phần bên dưới này thì các bạn cũng dán tương tự cho mình. Nhưng mà mình sẽ dán đổi cái phần màu đi, mình sẽ không dán giống như là ở bên trên nhé. Ví dụ ở bên dưới này thì mình sẽ có màu hồng này, thì mình sẽ dán so le màu hồng với cái phần màu xanh và màu vàng bên trên này. Rồi. Tiếp theo so le giữa hai màu xanh này thì mình sẽ cho màu vàng đi, mình sẽ cho màu vàng bên dưới nhé. Các bạn sẽ dán keo ở đây. Các bạn sẽ dán như thế nào để cái khi mình nhìn thì nó hợp mắt mình là được. Rồi tiếp tục này, mình sẽ dán tiếp cái phần màu xanh lá cây đi. Màu xanh lá cây thì mình sẽ dán giữa cái phần màu xanh lá cây nhạt và cái phần màu hồng bên trên nhé. Bây giờ mình còn 2 cái màu nữa thôi, đó là màu xanh dương và màu xanh dương nhạt. Màu xanh lá cây nhạt thì các bạn sẽ dán cho mình màu xanh dương trước đi, bởi vì mình vừa mới dán màu xanh lá cây đậm rồi. Thì bây giờ mình sẽ cách một màu ra thì mình sẽ mới dán màu xanh lá cây tiếp nhé. Rồi, và cái hình tròn màu xanh lá cây nhạt cuối cùng này thì mình sẽ dán nó vào cái khoảng cuối cùng này. Đây, như vậy là các bạn sẽ thấy là cả phần trên và phần dưới thì mình đều có trang trí những cái phần hình tròn nhiều màu sắc bằng cái phần xốp nhũ óng ánh như thế này rồi. Cảm ơn các bạn đã theo dõi cái cách mình làm cái đèn lồng này, và hẹn gặp lại các bạn ở những video tiếp theo nhé.